A guy walking down the street sees a beautiful nun with perfect melons. He says to her, "Hey sister, would you let me bite your melons for $100?" "Are you nuts?" she replies, and keeps walking. He turns around, runs around the block, and gets to the corner before she does. "Would you let me bite your melons for $1,000? He asks again. "Listen you, I'm not that kind of nun. Got it?" So the guy runs around the next block and faces her again. "Would you let me bite your melons just once for $10,000? She thinks about it for a while and says, $10,000, eh? Okay, just once, but not here. Let's go to that dark alley over there." So they go into the alley, where she takes off her robe to reveal the most perfect melons in the world. As soon as he sees them, he grabs them and starts caressing them, fondling them slowly, kissing them, licking them, burying his face in them, but not biting them. The nun finally gets annoyed and asks, "Well, are you going to bite them or not?" "Nah," he replies, "costs too much." While the couple is dining, the husband says, "Oh my God, woman, aren't you eating too much? Look at you with that dress. You look just like our washing machine." The wife is visibly upset, but stays silent for the rest of the day. That night, already on the bed, the husband is feeling bad about what he said and try to make amends. "Okay, dear, I'm sorry. Let's put this nonsense behind us. How about we put this sexy washing machine to work, huh?" The wife looks at him and answers, "Oh dear, I don't think that's necessary. That little piece of rag that you have there you can wash with your own hands in 10 seconds. An elderly couple, Ray and Bessie, are snowbirds in Texas. Ray always wanted a pair of authentic cowboy boots. Seeing some on sale one day, he buys them, wears them home, walking proudly. He walks into the house and says to his wife, "Notice anything different about me?" Bessie looks him over and says, "Nope." Frustrated, Ray storms off into the bathroom, undresses, and walks back into the room completely naked except for the boots. Again, he asks, a little louder this time, "Notice anything different now?" Bessie looks up and says, "Ray, what's different? It's hanging down today. It was hanging down yesterday. It'll be hanging down again tomorrow." Furious, Ray yells, "And do you know why it's hanging down, Bessie? It's hanging down because it's looking at my new boots." To which Bessie replies, "Shoulda bought a hat, Ray, shoulda bought a hat." Two widows go to the cemetery every day. One of them spends all her time crying by the grave of her late husband. The other one just stands on the gravestone of her respective husband and urinates all over it. So, the first one found the behavior of the second one weird, went to her and asked, "Did you hate him that much that you come here every day just to piss on his grave?" The second one answers, "One must cry from where one misses him the most." Mother Superior tells two new nuns they have to paint their room, but they must not get any paint on their clothes. One of the nuns gets an idea. "Let's just take off our clothes, fold them up nicely, and lock the door. No clothes, no paint stains." So that's exactly what they do. They start painting away, having a great time. Then suddenly, knock knock. From outside the door, a voice say, "Blind man." The nuns pause. One says to the other, "Well, if he's blind, he won't see anything anyway, right?" The other nods. They open the door. In walks a guy with a big grin. "Nice rack. Now, where do you want me to hang these blinds?" Harry was a poor tailor whose shop was next door, a two-star restaurant. Every day for lunch, Harry would eat his black bread and herring in the small garden at the back of his shop. He would always smell the wonderful odors emanating from the next-door restaurant's kitchen. One day, the restaurant sent Harry an invoice. Harry went to see the manager to ask why. The manager replied, "And you're enjoying my food, so you should pay for it." Harry refused to pay, and the restaurant sued him. At the hearing, the judge asked the restaurant to present their side of the story. They said, Every day, this man comes and sits near our kitchen and visibly smells our food whilst eating his. We are obviously adding value to his cheap food, and we deserve to be recompensed for it. The judge then asked Harry, "And what do you have to say about that?" Harry said nothing but stuck his hand in his pocket and rattled around the coins he had inside. The judge asked him, "What's the meaning of that?" Harry replied, "I am paying for the smell of his food with the sound of my money." So a family was getting ready for dinner and had invited their daughter's boyfriend over for the very first time. While setting the table, a familiar debate sparked up in the kitchen. Dad, I bring home the bacon. I'm not doing the dishes. Daughter, I did them last Monday. Mom, stirring the pot. I'm cooking. I shouldn't have to clean too. Then, Mom had a genius idea. Let's play a little game, she said. Whoever speaks first after this does the dishes. Everyone nodded silently. Challenge accepted. 15 minutes pass in total silence. Then the daughter's boyfriend shows up, riding his ancient squeaky bicycle that goes quee-quee with every pedal. He walks in. "Good evening," he greets cheerfully. No response, not a word. He sits at the table, confused but trying to stay polite. "The soup is great," he says. Silence. He tries again and again. Nothing. Everyone stays mute. They're committed to the game. Then, in pure panic and confusion, and desperation for a reaction, he tries increasingly outrageous things to break the silence. Let's just say, things got wild. But the family? Not a single word. Finally, the boyfriend storms out, muttering, "What kind of family is this? I could probably hook up with the mom and they still wouldn't react." Then he actually comes back, just to test his theory. And yep, not a peep. Still shocked, he gets back on his noisy old bike. "Quee, this bike is driving me nuts," he yells. "I need to fix this sound." He turns around, bursts into the kitchen, and shouts, "Do you guys have any lube?" And finally, the dad jumps up. Okay. I'll do. I'll shoot the dishes." Moral of the story: never underestimate the power of silence or a squeaky bicycle. Two elderly women, Marie and Edith, were out for a drive. Neither of them could see over the dashboard, but they were enjoying their time on the road. As they cruised along, they approached an intersection where the stoplight was red. To their surprise, they just drove right through it. Edith, sitting in the passenger seat, thought to herself, "I must be losing it. I could have sworn we just went through a red light." A little shaken, she decided to pay closer attention. A few minutes later, they came to another intersection, and once again, the light was red. But they zoomed right on through. Now, Edith was really starting to worry. "Am I losing my mind?" she wondered. Determined to figure out what was going on, she focused intently on the next intersection. Sure enough, the light was definitely red, and they sped through again. This time, Edith turned to Marie, her voice filled with panic. "Marie, did you know we just ran through 3 red lights in a row? You could have killed us." Marie looked at her in confusion and replied, "Oh, am I driving?"